What separates the person who constantly gets taken advantage of from the one who moves through life with an unspoken authority? It's not luck, talent, or charisma. It's the singular, painful instant they look in the mirror and decide the current version of themselves is a liability, not an asset. And they retire it on the spot. Not repair, not patch, not forgive. Retire. Right now, there are people in your life who have a file on you. They know the exact words that make you hesitate. They know the criticism that stings. They know how to push you into action, how to dismiss your ambitions, how to take your time and leave you wondering what happened. And the trap that keeps most people locked in place is this. They keep feeding that same file day after day. Same reactions, same openings, same predictable self, just repackaged in new clothes. Niccolo Machiavelli spent his life dissecting power. Not the polished public version, but the gritty, unspoken mechanics. Why some people rise while others are perpetually used and discarded. His conclusions weren't comforting. They were brutal. The world doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to your projection, your predictability, and whether it can read you like a manual. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a declaration of war on the self that has been holding you back. This is a systematic guide to dismantling your old identity and reconstructing from the foundation up as someone who is immune to manipulation, exploitation, and disrespect. Every piece builds on the last. Stay focused. Before we move forward, drop this anchor in the comments. I am reconstructing the strategic collapse. People think strategy is a luxury for the powerful. You need leverage, options, and a clear path before you can make a move. Machiavelli would call that a fantasy. True strategy is born when you're on the ground. A betrayal, a financial blow, a public humiliation, the moment you're carefully built. Assumptions shatter against reality. That collapse isn't your end, it's your raw material. Before the floor fell out, you were running on assumptions. You assumed loyalty was reciprocal. You'd assumed effort would be rewarded. You assumed that being good would shield you. Collapse torches those assumptions. And losing a comfort in lie is the first step of any serious strategist. Machiavelli said, "Never waste a good crisis." He wasn't talking about profiting off others' pain. He was talking about your own. When your world fractures, you get a rare window, a window most people slam shut by scrambling for comfort, to see clearly and rebuild on truth. Those who emerged stronger didn't find hidden resources. They used the pain as data. They sat in the wreckage, studied it without flinching, and asked, "What is this telling me?" Your collapse is speaking. It's telling you about misplaced trust, fatal habits, or a self-image that didn't match reality. Listen. Don't numb it. That uncomfortable moment you're in right now is the most valuable asset you'll ever possess. Drop this in the comments. Pain is my data, identity dismantling. Here's a hard truth. Your old identity isn't a victim of circumstance, it is the circumstance. Your old self isn't the victim, it's the circumstance. Think about how you were built. Years of trying to be liked, years of smoothing your rough edges so others felt safe. Years of apologizing for existing, years of giving endlessly while asking for nothing. That version of you, that agreeable, approval-seeking, emotionally porous person, was designed for survival in a weak environment. It was not designed for respect, influence, or a life of strategic intent. If you try to rebuild on that same foundation, just with new goals, You're setting up for another collapse. The foundation is cracked. Machiavelli observed that a leader's intelligence is revealed by the company he keeps. Extend that. The trajectory of your life is revealed by the identity you operate from. Identity dictates decisions. Decisions dictate relationships. Relationships dictate outcomes. Dismantling the old self isn't a metaphor. It's a surgical strike. It means ending habits you've normalized. It means exiting relationships that only existed because your old self needed validation. It means ceasing to perform the version of yourself that others find comfortable. This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming authentic. Becoming the version of yourself that isn't defined by others' comfort zones. The version that acts from intent, not impulse. Most people avoid this because it feels like loss. And it is. You'll lose the approval of people who only like the version they could manage. You'll lose the familiarity of patterns that felt safe but kept you static. Let it all go. This isn't healing, it's demolition. And you can't build a skyscraper on a cracked slab. Drop this affirmation. I burn the blueprint, strategic silence and detachment. The world is a noise machine. Everyone has a take on your life, what you should do, who you should be, why you'll fail, what your past means. The trap is that when you're raw, fresh from a hit, you instinctively seek those voices. You want comfort, and any voice, even a critical one, feels like connection. This is when people make fatal decisions. Right after collapse, when they're emotionally exposed, they let someone else write the story of their worth. Machiavelli noted that to adapt to changing times, one must first change one's conduct. Before you can change your conduct, you must silence the external input. You need space where other people's narratives can't reach you. That means stepping away from friends who have unsolicited opinions. It means logging off platforms where comparison is the product. It means sometimes being alone long enough to hear your own thoughts. Silence isn't weakness. It's a tactical shield. When you go quiet, you stop leaking information. You stop handing out emotional data that people can use to predict your next move. You stop reacting, which gives away your vulnerabilities. Simultaneously, silence creates mystery. People become uncertain. They can't read you, don't know what you're planning or if you even care. That uncertainty is leverage. Stop begging for validation from people who aren't on your new level. Stop explaining your plans before you execute them. Stop announcing a transformation you haven't completed. Go dark. Observe. Rebuild in the shadows. Drop this. Silence builds power, treating the past as intelligence. Most people look at their history with shame or nostalgia, beating themselves up or romanticizing what was. Both are emotional dead ends. A strategist doesn't emote over the past. They interrogate it. Where, precisely, were you weak? At what exact moment did feeling override judgment? When did you trust someone who hadn't earned it? When did you ignore a red flag because you wanted a different outcome? When did you choose being liked over being respected? Machiavelli advised following in the footsteps of great men. But before you can follow, you have to dissect the missteps with surgical precision, no flinching. Treat your memories as case files. Every betrayal, every failure, every moment you were outmaneuvered. There's a pattern inside it. Something you did, or didn't do, created the opening. Identify the pattern, name it. Because the worst fate is to go through pain and learn nothing, repeating the same cycles with different faces. Your past isn't a sad story, It's strategic data. Use it. Identify your patterns of overtrust. Identify the archetype of people you overinvest in. Identify the triggers that make you act before you think. Then, design your new self to close those gaps, not by becoming paranoid, but by becoming precise. Radical resource conservation. You cannot build a fortress while bleeding out from 100 small cuts. Most people underestimate how much energy is siphoned before they even start their day. There are people in your life acting as drains. Relationships built on your giving and their taking. Friendships held together by your effort and their convenience. There are habits you've normalized that are quietly destroying your focus and discipline. Things you do every day that feel harmless but are keeping you anchored in place. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must be both a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. To be the fox, you need clear vision. To have clear vision, you must cut the static. That means making ruthless decisions about your circle, not angry decisions, cold, strategic evaluations. Does this person make me stronger or weaker? Do I leave interactions with them clearer or more confused? Does this relationship cost more than it yields? Energy vampires aren't always bad people. They're just incompatible with your future. Keeping them out of guilt or history is a strategic error. The same goes for habits. Examine your time, attention, and money. Every weak habit is a leak. Every undisciplined hour is a resource walking out the door. Cut the leaks, not next week, now. Treat your life like a controlled system. Every input evaluated, every output measured. Winners aren't always smarter. They're just more selective about where their energy flows. Drop this. I cut what drains, crafting the new image. You've done the internal work. You've mapped weaknesses. You've cut the drains. You've rebuilt in silence. Now comes what most skip, which is why their transformation never lands. Image reconstruction. Understand, the world doesn't respond to your inner work. It responds to what it sees. Two people can undergo the same internal shift, but if one knows how to project that shift through posture, silence, and presence, the world will treat them entirely differently. Machiavelli knew perception is reality. Everyone sees what you appear to be. He wasn't being cynical, he was being real. You need to construct a new image, not a fake one. A fake collapses under pressure, but you must be deliberate about what you reveal and what you conceal. Mystery is a force multiplier. When people can't fully read you, they sense depth they can't access, and they instinctively assign you more weight. They become careful. They respect the unknown. Stop over-explaining. Stop justifying your choices to those who aren't entitled to an answer. Stop filling every silence with chatter. Let your presence speak. Enter rooms as if you've already made a decision. Respond to challenges with calm, not reaction. Let your results announce your transformation, not your words. Let your results speak before your words do. Drop this. Mystery is my armor, building the psychological firewall. As you rebuild, a predictable thing will happen. People will test you. Some, consciously, rivals, those who benefited from your old weaknesses, those threatened by your change. They'll poke at old wounds to see if you still flinch. Others unconsciously, friends used to your patterns, family comfortable with the old you. Your change implicitly challenges them. Then there's media, social feeds, and culture, all designed to fracture your focus. Machiavelli noted that the first impression of a ruler's intelligence comes from seeing who surrounds him. Your psychological firewall is deciding, before the tests come, what gets through. Distractions unrelated to your goals, blocked. Provocations from people who want a reaction, blocked. Opinions from those who haven't earned the right to judge you, blocked. This isn't arrogance, it's selectivity. There's a difference between someone who ignores everyone because they're arrogant and someone who filters carefully because they know focus is finite and attention is power. Become unreactive. When someone expects an explosion and they get calm, the balance of power shifts instantly. You win without saying a word. Your new self doesn't take the bait. It doesn't descend into useless arguments. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Stay on your path. Drop this. I don't take bait. Commanding emotion, not suppressing it. There's a dangerous myth that emotional strength means becoming a robot. That the goal is to feel nothing, need nothing. That's not what Machiavelli taught. He said it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. He understood the value of warmth, but also that someone who can't control their emotional output is a hostage to whoever knows their triggers. Emotional command isn't the absence of emotion. It's the ability to feel anger, hurt, or desire and choose when, how, and if to express it. Here's the practice. Someone disrespects you. Your instinct is to react, defend, attack. A disciplined response. Observe the emotion. I am angry. Let it exist without acting. Then decide if a response is even worth your time. This isn't suppression. Suppression creates pressure. This is strategic expression. You decide what gets out, when, and why. Maintain distance without hostility. You can be polite and warm without being vulnerable. Distance isn't rudeness, it's positioning. And when you do choose to express emotion, warmth, displeasure, enthusiasm, it lands harder because people know you don't broadcast it. It means something. That selectivity is power, evolution as the ultimate revenge. Let's talk about something unspoken but real. After betrayal, after humiliation, there's a part of you that wants them to see you survived, to see you came back. That feeling isn't petty, it's fuel. The mistake is acting on it too soon, arguing, posting, trying to prove you're fine before you are. Machiavelli said, appear as you may wish to be, but you can only authentically appear as what you've become. So, the most devastating revenge is to disappear, rebuild, and return as someone so formidable that it's obvious everything meant to break you only forged you. No arguments, no explanations, just results. When those who dismissed you see the new you with their own eyes, undeniable in real life, that's permanent. And here's the deeper layer. When you genuinely evolve, when your life expands and your focus is forward, you stop caring if they see it. The success becomes yours, not a message to them. Drop this. Evolution is my revenge, the strategic return. Eventually, your private work becomes visible. You re-enter spaces, professional, social, personal, and people encounter the new you. How you handle this moment is critical. Most people's instinct is to announce the change, explain the journey, make sure everyone knows they're different. Resist this completely. Machiavelli said, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." You don't need to tell people you've changed. Your presence will tell them. Your responses will tell them. The way you carry yourself, the things you no longer react to, all of it communicates the change without a single word. People should feel the shift before they can articulate it. That feeling, That subtle recognition that something is different is more potent than any speech. Return with presence, not explanation. Return with results, not promises. The strategic return is quiet, assured, and unmistakable. You just show up as someone who did the work and let that reality speak for itself. Those who underestimated you will recalibrate without you saying a word. The mindset of perpetual evolution. The most dangerous thing after a successful rebuild is stopping. You reach a plateau that feels good. You've survived. Relationships are better. Results are solid. So you settle. The discipline that got you there fades because the urgency is gone. And slowly, the old patterns creep back. Complacency sets in, and eventually, a new collapse. Machiavelli taught that those who adapt to the times prosper, those who clash do not. The world shifts, careers change, relationships need maintenance. Weaknesses you manage don't disappear, they need constant management. The strategist's mindset isn't "I fixed the problem," it's "I am always reading the situation." Never stop rebuilding. Not because you're broken, but because growth is a direction, not a destination. The version that wins today won't win in 5 years. The moment you think you've arrived, someone still hungry will close the gap. Build continuous improvement into your identity as a standard, not a burden. Adapt before you're forced to. Stay ahead of the next collapse. The 5 Immutable Laws. Everything we've covered crystallizes into 5 laws. These are the lines you don't cross. Not when emotional, not when tired, not when circumstances seem to justify an exception. Treat these as the operating system of your new self. 1. Never publicly display your pain. Pain is real and valid, but displayed publicly, it becomes a file people can use against you, often without malice. Process your pain privately, journal, therapist, inner circle, the internet, casual acquaintances, co-workers, never. 2. Keep a small, powerful circle. 3 people genuinely invested in your success who challenge you are worth more than 30 who enjoy your company when it's easy. A large network of weak ties is noise. A small circle of strong ties is infrastructure. 3. Observe emotions before expressing them. Before sending that message, having that confrontation, or making that decision from a place of hurt, pause. Observe. Ask what outcome you want. Decide if the emotion serves that outcome. Sometimes it will. Often it won't. 4. Speak with purpose, not emotion. Words spoken from emotion are almost always regretted. Words chosen carefully, delivered calmly, aimed at a specific outcome, those land. Fewer words, heavier words. The person who speaks least often carries the most authority. 5. Never rebuild the same version twice. Don't renovate. Reconstruct. A renovation keeps the same core assumptions, the same flawed foundation. Each rebuild must be a fundamentally upgraded design, incorporating everything the previous version learned. If you've made it this far, you're not here by accident. Something in you recognized the path being laid out. A real blueprint for becoming someone who can't be broken the same way twice. The version of you that got hurt, used, underestimated. That version was built under old pressures. It is not your ceiling. Now you understand the game. Strategy is born in collapse. Identity must be rebuilt from scratch. Silence is a weapon. Your past is data. Guard your energy. Reconstruct your image. Command your emotions. Your evolution is your revenge. Return stronger. Live by the 5 laws daily without exception. People who change their lives don't wait for perfect conditions. They start exactly where they are. Broken, uncertain, maybe angry, but decided. If this gave you something real, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to Winds of Thought for more frameworks like this. We're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, the most powerful version of you isn't behind you. It's ahead. Go build it.